Good evening, family. Good evening, Power Nation. My name is Anton, and I am the pastor of Dominion and Power Ministries in Garland, Texas. I wanted to take time just to give you what we call a power moment, because I feel that there are three things that can hinder your success in life. One of them is the way you think, the way you speak, and what you do. Your mind, your mouth, and your actions. There's a scripture in the Bible that says, "Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind." That means that your mind, if it's not renewed, if it's not transformed, then you will start to think in the negative. A transformed mind and a renewed mind look at things differently than one that's not transformed or renewed. For instance, a mind that is not renewed and not transformed, they tend to look at things in the negative. So let's say that by lot you are working at a McDonald's. Now, nothing's wrong with working at Mickey D's, but something happened and you're there, you're working, and it's not what you really want it to be. Automatically, your mind begins to think in the negative. I really don't want to be here. This is not much money. Maybe you're catching the bus. Oh, I have to catch the bus. And then you'll start to think, well, don't nobody like me here. All of this stuff will go through your mind. But a transformed, renewed mind looks at that whole situation totally different. When your mind is transformed and renewed, you may be working at McDonald's, but you ought to be able to say, I may be working at McDonald's today, but I'm going to own one of these franchises tomorrow. You may look at your situation and say, I may be riding the bus today, but I am going to be riding tomorrow if I keep pressing forward and if I keep pushing on. Now, here's the second thing. What you say. This plays a very important part in your success, because I believe that you need to talk to yourself. Now, I know that sounds crazy, and I know some people may write me, but yes, I did say that you need to talk to yourself. Why? Talking to yourself is normal. Now, if you talk to psychiatrists or psychologists, they'll tell you that it's normal, but they'll say, just don't answer yourself. Well, I think that's wrong. I think that you should talk to yourself and answer yourself. You ought to be able to say, hey, look, I'm better than that. And then respond and say, yes, I am better than that. You may be going through something and you look at it and you ought to say that, listen, I can do this. Yes, I can. I can do this. Yes, I can. Your finances may be strange and your money may be messed up, but you ought to be looking at that financial situation you're in and say, my finances may be messed up, but I am going to be financially stable tomorrow. And you ought to say, yes, I can do this. Yes, I will do this. If you start opening up your mouth and begin to talk like that, this confuses the enemy. This makes the enemy scared. And not only does it do that, but it makes the enemy wonder what is going on, because he's hitting you with everything that he's got. And you're bending, but you're not breaking. And he's wondering what is going on. Well, you simply changed the way you thought. You changed the way that you are speaking. And he doesn't understand why you haven't given up yet. Now, here's the third thing, and it's the practical part that all Christians sometimes make a mistake at. Your actions. Most Christians want to see things done in the supernatural. But hear me good. All things are not done in the supernatural. You can be believing for things, have faith, You can be praying for things and they will never happen. Why? Because you haven't put any actions behind what you're doing. If you don't believe it, why don't you do this? Go into another room and begin to get on your knees and begin to pray and begin to have faith and believe that your kitchen table is going to move. Now, yes, God can do it, but more than likely when you get up off your knees and you go into your kitchen, the same place that you left the table, it will be right there waiting for you. Why? This is something important, because God will not do for you what you can do for yourself. I'm going to say that again. God will not do for you what you can do for yourself. He's given you hands. He's given you feet. He's given you legs. He's given you the strength to move it. And so while you're waiting on God, God is waiting on you. I'm going to say it again. God is waiting on you. He gave you the ability to do everything you need, so you can be praying and believing, God, make me, a business owner. God, fill up my bank account. God, give me a 6-figure job. But until you get up and start moving toward those things will never happen. It's just a practical thing. Faith without works is dead. And you have to put some action behind what you're doing and you're believing for. Let me tell you this. If you start changing the way you think, changing the way that you speak, and then start putting action behind what you're believing for, getting up, going forth and saying, God, you gave me the strength to do this, and so I'm going to give everything back to you and do all that I can do in the natural. Now, here's where the supernatural comes in, because God takes what you're doing in the natural and he puts his supernatural up on it. Listen, in parting, I want you to know this. Whatever you're going through, if you change the way you're thinking, the way you're speaking, and start putting action behind your faith and belief, things will turn around for you. And remember, in parting, we always say this: God has a plan for your life, and none of it includes defeat. We love you, and be blessed.